It's Sebastian again. And play a little more online. Yeah, today we're just gonna do some sightseeing, I think. Something happens, it happens, but basically you run. These guys got a portable crusher. It's kind of silly. They made it where you can use those in the bank. Now someone's got it just right outside the door. Basically, they made it where you can't use it in the city. But I guess that door right there is not considered in the city. It's pretty silly, really. Things they do sometimes. I guess it was something to do with too much stuff or whatever in the bank, I guess, clutter. Yeah, just little things. So those bags I was picking up, that's to do with that holiday thing where the building's burning down. Basically, the idea is all the stuff is supposed to be stuff from that house. It's like a raffle or whatever for people to win. A lot of times you mostly just get some Cuprum coins and stuff. It always just for the fun, really. You don't get much out of it. I just did it for the last couple of years. They do it every year around the holidays. And I just have the habit of picking them up. When it started this year, it was seemed pretty slow, but now that I'm seeing all these, it looks like they've ramped them up a little bit and actually got them coming out. See, I've got like 200 cuprum, basically 2 silver is all I got out of all those bags. But it's still kind of fun to do. Now that I know that they're out again, I might have to stop back and play. But yeah, we're gonna head up the mountain, try to do some sightseeing. This character moves pretty good, so might be able to cover some ground. There's a tower. Those are player built like houses, basically. Yep, again, we're heading up into the mountains, so I like to do a lot of traveling, as I said before, in the mountains. This is a pretty heavily traveled area right here, though, or it can be because of a Uriel spawn up here. If you pay attention to the way I came, this is a pretty lucrative thing to fight or to hunt. So we got somebody here. Looks like they're AFK. But yeah, these Uriels, you can pretty much sell them on the broker or two if you have a butcher friend. They give like 4 gold per stack of them. So that's pretty easy money. They're not that hard to kill, so I mean a brand new, spanking new player might have a little problems with them, but shouldn't be that bad. Just have to rust every once in a while if they give you issues. Yeah, I probably explained this before, but you used to be able to see like all that fog right now. You used to be able to see like way far if you were up in the mountains like this. You could see almost forever. But to make it not as hard on the server, the computers and stuff, they added that fog. It's a shame. I mean, because it's pretty ugly, really. It looks so much better when you actually could see. But I guess that's the kind of thing we got to take for performance, for to get better performance. Kind of like the fog of war or something in other games. But if you were here early in the game, you'd be able to see, like from here, I'd be able to see clear out to pretty much as far as there could be. I think they could cut it back a little bit, but for now this is what we have. It was so much nicer before, though, to come up here and you'd see like all that river and flowing all through everywhere and everything. Yep. So this is just one way. You see, a lot of times I don't even use a horse unless I'm hauling stuff. I can get around pretty good on foot. See, here's another one of those spawns. These are quite a ways away from a town, but if somebody wanted to, they could get these as well. See, there's that. This is actually, if you would have went down the backside of Fab by the tower and the crusher and stuff, then you'd come down in here like Kranesh and stuff is over in there. So basically that would be the, a lot of ways someone would have went, like they'd went down the road from Fab and then cut across and they'd be running through here on their horse or what have you. We're just taking the mountain route instead. If you were down there, you'd see the mountains, but you probably wouldn't even be able to get up here from down there. That's one of the things that's nice about the mountains. I mean, this is probably still a pretty well-traveled section of mountains too, but at least you're not wide open out down there in the open area. Someone could easily miss you, you know. Someone could be right on the other side of the hill and not even know it. Okay, so I forget what this is called, like Huergar or something. The one race or cave. Huergar Cave. I'm getting some lag. There's Minotaurs in here. There's also some what are those snatcher things called? I don't remember, but some kind of things right there. Soul snatchers or something, I don't know. They can be pretty mean if you, I mean, I don't kill stuff, but it's something that's hit me pretty hard when they have hit me. So they might be kind of mean. I've been killed by them a number of times. But yeah, that cave right there is got minotaurs in it and stuff. There's also some double node mining in there. Granum, I think it was. And again, we're just right here on the other side of that, where Kranesh and all that stuff is. We're just up on the mountains. There's also another cave. I think it's like right there. You can't go up right there, but the cave is actually right there, I think. You actually go around here up a hill and then come around this thing and you go through here and there's a cave and it's got a real big monster thing in there. I don't know the names of half this stuff, but it's a big thing that they pretty much got to take groups in there. I think it does like an area effect kind of stomp thing that hurts people real bad. But yeah, that's right over in there. If you're walking across right here and then there's a cave like right there. But as I said, you got to go around to get it, like to over where cave camp is. I guess we could, yeah. We'll leave that for now, but that's where that's at. I wish I knew what the creature was called, but it's one of the bigger things in the game to try to kill. You gotta have group people. You can't go in there and kill it yourself. I'm just cutting this way across, but I kind of like to stay up here on the mountain. See, you can't really see where it is, but I'm pretty sure it's right there. But I guess it doesn't matter from this side. You almost got to go around to get to it from the other side of that mountain anyway. Guess we could go by cave camp. That's pretty dangerous, so lots of reds. Some place that I'd usually avoid unless I had to get something there or what have you. Because it's a storage, it's basically a storage out in the wild where reds can use it. See, there's a crossing right here. If you go in here and take a right, like right over to here on the other side or so, cave camp's right there. Maybe we'll come up from the back side just because, if I can. But if you go up this way right here and come around here, there'll be a road that goes up this mountain. You can follow that road all the way up to the top and keep following it, and that'll lead you to that cave that I'm talking about with that big thing. Yeah, we might leave cave camp for now. Well, we'll run by there. Hopefully we won't get killed. I should have took another way instead of going right through that choke point, but we'll risk it. Take my weapon out. I'm moving pretty good, but stamina's draining a little bit. Like I said, we don't want to walk right down the roads and trails. We're kind of cutting in and out through these dips and stuff. Try to pop in right near that choke point and just be in it for as short as amount of time as possible. That's a good place to set up an ambush. That's kind of how you almost got to think, not how you would think of putting an ambush, but where you would feel that you're not safe. That's the kind of places you want to avoid and try to be as safe as possible. I mean, you run into somebody, but you need to recognize when some area is probably not safe and see this is a choke. An obvious choke point. This would be ideal place for somebody to set up a ambush or something. So we don't want to be in this kind of area any longer than we have to, and avoid it if we can. There's spiders up here. But see, instead of staying on this road, I'm going to get back up here as quick as I can. There's the spiders. I hear you. Let's see, let's see if the spiders are still chasing me, but see that thing right there is pretty much that road I was talking about. You follow that up and around and you'll get to that trail. We might get lucky and not actually see anybody here at cave camp. Generally, for me, I go out. I don't usually go around here very often. If we die, we die. It's not really an issue, no big deal. Might as well grab some goodies along the way. Throw them in the cave camp bank and might get a few silver out of them sometime if I ever need something out here when I'm out here. See, now instead of running down there on that hill like that, or I mean we're getting up here on the mountain like our usual thing, instead of running right down that trail and out into that opening. I mean sure we could still be seen, but this is just my paranoid way. I think I should be able to slip down here. I probably should have looked around a little bit, but see right up here is coming the cave, the actual thing they call cave camp. And the reason it can be dangerous a lot of times is because it is a place where reds can bank. One of the handful of places where reds have a bank without worrying about guards and stuff. Alright, I'm not going to grab more of this stuff. Well, I will grab that. But here's the cave for cave camp. We won't go in there for now, but there's a little bit of mining. I think there's some gabor in there that people can do. Yep, and this here is the actual cave camp. There's the banker, and that's what people would use here. They used to be pretty big when they hunted wisnets or whatever out here. See, I drop this kind of stuff here when I'm out here all the time. Alright, so we're not gonna hang out here or nothing. We're just keep moving. But that's like I said, that's get pretty good odds that you run into a red out here because of that bank. There's also a priest right here. So we'll continue on here. And there's the obvious trail right to this bridge. This bridge up here is another choke point. We'll get out of the way a little bit here and get over on these rocks. The hill again instead of being right down here in the opening. When we're running around and not seeing nothing like this, it seems safe, but at any point in time you could run into somebody, so it's better to get out of the way a little bit just in case. See, I'm still pretty wide open right here. I need to get up in here. It don't help so long though, because I got to go through another choke point basically. There's another place to mine up here too. Yeah, see, this is a little better, but still I'm pretty high and sticking up on this. See that ledge right there? That'll drop you back down where we were at from Fab, coming around Fab and Grenache and all that stuff, winding around there. When we were looking down before, that's pretty much kind of that area right there too. Or no, that place where I was going to cut through. Instead, we went through that choke point. That's where that'll lead to right there. Now here's this choke point right here. If you could swim, this guy can swim. I could just use water for him instead of bridge, instead of going to the choke point. I don't know how much weight. I can't have too much weight because I'm not encumbered or anything. So we'll just go out of our way and try to swim across. And we're not right down at the choke point. See that bridge right there? That's pretty much the way across that they'd expect people to come along here and go across that bridge. It don't look, I've never really tried to swim this. I usually just take the bridge, but I might be able to get across right, get back on shore right there. We'll try it. Huh, spider down in there. Just for shits and giggles, we'll jump in right here and try to get across. Might even be able to jump right there, but looked like it would be, I'd be able to get on there, but now I'm not so sure. There we go. There, so I avoided that choke point anyway a little bit. Get riding up on here as high as we can. Draw that weapon again. Draw my weapon. See, now there's that thing there too. It's riding the road in there, so we're still off the beaten path a little bit. And they really can't get up on this ledge very easily from down there. A lot of this is Gabor, I think, right here. Oh, I should have went across right here. Yep, so I can stay on here a bit. See, so this helps me a little bit. Now you see that would have been another kind of a ambush type of spot. This here, that's a cave camp back there, but this was actually the mining camp right here. We'll go ahead and go around and go up in there. I'm pretty surprised that we haven't ran into anybody all this way. Still seems like quite a drop, don't it? Alright, so we'll run up here to the mining, by the mining camp, and we'll go into Mage Field. See more Gabor out here, and then Granum turns into Granum. There's a bunch of what they call them, jolting horses or whatever. They're probably the worst horse in the game, I think, but maybe not as bad as the donkey, I don't know. But it's a horse right there if you needed one. See, there's a cave here too, but it's just a empty cave. The only thing really in there, I think, is bears. You could mine in there though, if you weren't having problems with the bears. See, so this here's one of the few places really that have stuff that isn't pretty close to a town. There's no town here, but there's some machines. There's like a crusher, a greater nautilus, a grinder, a furnace, and then a tractor. But then you have pretty much, you're at risk of being attacked or anything. Anyone could come and interrupt you, take your stuff, kill you when you're using it. But it is all here to be used. See, there's your tractor, furnace, grizzly, greater nautilus, and a crusher back there. More granum. Now this up here, is actually in the lore about like some big battle with risers and humans or something. I guess this open area up here, there was a lot of battles there supposedly. And this tower thing used to be some kind of protector people in there or something. They would watch over and basically keep the risers back or something like that. But the last battle there, they didn't help. You'll see there's like faces on the mountains. Supposedly lava came out of the mouths of them and would hold, basically stop the risers when they advanced through here. But for whatever reason, the last time it happened, the people didn't, the tower and the faces or whatever didn't do the lava. There's like a story, I think it's on the websites. You can find it in the lore section or something on the website that tells the whole story. But like I said, basically it amounts to this thing people call it Mage Field, but it's supposedly been the place of a bunch of battles between the risers and the human type tendrum people or whatever. Because beyond here, this is where it starts to be more of the, like the red city and everything's back in there. The big red mining town. And there's a bunch of risers and stuff still out there, riser camps. So they must have probably came flooding out of there. And for whatever reason, this tower thing used to, see there's one of the mouths. Got some cougars here. I should have probably went around a little bit, but we'll try to run by him. I think it's a cougar, yeah. See if I can get by him without getting chewed on. But yeah, this big valley thing here is what they call Mage Field. And that's where these battles always happened. Where the human type people used to always come through, and this is where the battle would usually end, get stopped. The risers would usually get stopped because these the people that were in that tower would release lava from these mouths, would come out of these things, and it'd flood this place with lava, and it would halt the risers. But, or I don't know if it'd flood it, but regardless, they'd stop the risers here. But in that lore or whatever, the last time it happened, the people in the towers just didn't do it for whatever reason. And the risers pretty much, it didn't say for sure, but the risers, by the sound of things, the risers pretty much just slaughtered the humans. They were all running for this cave. And the risers were scared that the lava was going to come out. But they came anyway because they just couldn't resist, bloodlust or whatever. And the humans, a lot of them were just peon civilians type people, peasants and stuff. And there were some soldiers too, so once they got into the cave, the soldiers pretty much just stood their ground here while the peasants and stuff were making their way through. This thing is called the Bullhead Tunnel. We're not going to go through there, but the other side is actually another bullhead, pops out in another part. But for now, we're heading towards MK, Morin Khur. But yeah, there was supposedly the big battle, and it was like a last stand right here. The risers were coming, and the soldiers pretty much held their ground, tried to hold their ground right here as the rest of the people were trying to flee through the tunnel. And then pretty much the lore story just ends there. It was pretty much, it was a losing battle no matter what, without the lava flowing and stopping them. Now I'm going to take this way. This is actually, guess it'd be one of the bonuses for dredging through my video, huh? A lot of the veterans would know about this, but this is pretty much a way to get into MK without going through the choke point. So, guess if everybody else knows, the older players know, the new players might as well know too. And you find these kind of things. That's what's cool about the game, is these kind of things are there if you actually get out and try, get her out and look around and explore. There's ways to avoid when you find a spot that's probably dangerous and you know it's dangerous, as you're walking through it, you're always scared and stuff, or that you're going to get attacked. You just know when something's, a good place for an ambush, even right here, if this was a busy place. But when you have to go through those type of places, then it's better to try to find alternate routes. And most of the time, or a lot of times, you can make it easier on yourself. And MK is one of those towns where it's hard to get in and out of it. I would look over that mountain and you'd see there's like I'll poke my head over there well, we'll do it up here. That's the step out there. They call it the step. There's a keep out there, and then there's a farm and a spider cave, basically. I don't know if the Spider Queen's in that cave or not. I don't really know that kind of stuff, but I know that there's a cave with spiders right over there. We'll poke our head over this hill up here just to see down in there. Again, you'll see a lot of nothing in the game, but you think about it, running around the real world, this is how it'd pretty much be too. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You're not just gonna have people hanging out here. You might stumble on people, but that's how it works in the game too. This just isn't the place that you'd expect to find people, and that's the way it is. The only shame is they don't have stuff out here worth finding either. There should be some little hidden things or something, or they could be found. I'm hoping I can poke my head right over this part here. This ain't where I'm really trying to get to, but I want to be able to see over this cliff. We might have to move down a little further. There we go. See, there's that keep, and then that's what they call the step. If I go down here a little bit, well, we should be able to see the farm. It might not load, but the farm is like right there, and the spider cave is right there somewhere. This is another place where people will come across when they're leaving MK. The road pretty much goes right along here, right on the other side of that thing, and through the choke point. But that's not where we're going. Get myself lost a little bit here. I could probably see over here as well. Again. But we pretty much seen that, unless we think we might be able to see the farm and the spider cave now. We'll poke our head up here. Stamina's going. I wish I could show you the choke point a little bit too, but maybe we'll see that more from the inside once we're down in there. You get the idea though, we've crossed a few choke points already. Nope, it's still not loading in the farm, but that farm's right there. There's a windmill and stuff, and like I said, the spiders are in there somewhere. I still bet I could look right down there and see the choke point and stuff. But we're gonna go on down. You can look at that on your own sometime if you haven't seen it before. It just feels, when you're running down that thing, it feels like it's a place, if anyone attacked you or ran after you at that time, there's nothing you can do. You're in one little tight area. There's only two ways to go. Either the way you're going or the way you came. Yep, so this is basically the little spot. This is a thing. People have been doing it forever, but let's see how much of the choke point we can see from here. If I can get up on there and see over. Without falling. Yeah, see, basically you're coming right through this little thing right here. So there's mountains on both sides. You do this whole thing. You pretty much SOL if somebody's ambushes you anywhere along the way in one of these holes or the bushes and stuff. So that's a real dangerous place coming in and out of this town. So basically what happens is you come to this mountain here and you do a Geronimo basically right up here. It'll hurt you sometimes. See, I took 34 damage. Sometimes you can get out of it without damage, but you pretty much avoided that choke point coming into the city, which is pretty good. I mean, you're still not safe from here to there, but it's take out that good chunk of that choke point where you could have got ambushed. And you could even have horses horses will actually come down that too. They'll follow you. Then you could have jumped, once you got down here, you can't use it in the mountain, but once you got to here, you could jump on the horse and scoot into town. So we'll just get in here and get a peek of MK, and then I'm going to shut this off. I'm sure it's got pretty long. I might even have to cut this up into multiple pieces. See, I'll look down here as well. There's another way into this town, which is just as bad. But see this little valley here? You can come in from down there and come in instead of that choke point. You can come in through around here, up this creek and in around the back. But I don't think it's any safer. I mean, you're sneaking around a little more than coming through the main gate, but you're still pretty much stuck on that trail for a long time with no options except for pretty much jumping in the river is your only option. Yep, and then here's the city. I used to really like this city when I played the game early, but there's somebody. If this town here, the resources are kind of far out, and with the choke points and stuff, it's a cool town and it's got a lot of equipment and everything, but it really needs trade to get, people to be transferring and bringing stuff into the city for it to work to the best, unless you have a whole bunch of people doing that for you. But for this city to really work, I think the world needs to have more trade, where trade is moving from one town to another. You can't support it too well right close to the city. It'd be easier having stuff brought into it. But if you could get stuff into the city, your ore and stuff, I'm talking because I extract and stuff like that, so other things might be different, but if you can get your materials in here, then you can do pretty much everything you want. It's just a matter of getting all the materials here. So if there was like some important, a lot of important going on, exporting and importing, then this city would probably be a lot more active than it is now. I could use it more. Alright, so I just wanted to poke my head in here a little bit. And this is pretty much the city. I think about this is what we're going to see for this time. Yep. So that was a trip from Fab to MK basically, and did a little sightseeing along the way. Take care.